But I'm really excited about, what we're going to talk about today because, when we talk about it just briefly when we're introducing this to new members, is that this is all peer-to-peer gifting. So that means you're going to have payment gateways. And they're all free. Yay. All right. So they're just tools that are out there. They're going to make your life easier. And I put it this way when I'm doing my own personal, presentations, to help you receive. I found that when I led with to help you gift, it wasn't as received as well as what can it do for me? It can make it easier for others to send you your gift. So I'm excited that we're going to talk about this. I'm obviously fired up about talking about crypto because I love teaching that. I used to have a YouTube channel, gone now because there's just a sea of YouTube channels that are great. So why do that? But anyways, that's it. I've just had a blessed week. I'm super excited that we're upon another Friday. Here in the US, it's a long weekend where we tend to drink a little too much, eat a little too much, celebrate a little too much. And I'm going to play. I'm going to get in on some of that. So anyways, just blessed to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Also, just, from an energetic point of view, if you are in this, you want to receive. I mean, that's the whole reason you gave your sacred yes. So why not open every single channel that there is available in order to allow your receiving to come to you with ease, joy, and glory? We are so conditioned in this world by the way that we've been grown up and taught at school that we don't deserve things. We're not good enough. It's a really hectic programming that comes into our minds. And only once you start taking a step back and you look at things from a very different perspective, do you actually see this trap that we're locked in. And one of those things is we've got a belief that we don't deserve to have lots of money. Or if we have lots of money, we're greedy. Or if we have lots of money, we're addicted to money and we don't want to be addicted to money. I mean, there's so many different beliefs that center around money. But money really is just an energy. And all energies that are good will follow good energies. So if you are relaxed and if you're happy and if you're joyous, you are going to attract the energy of money much easier than if you are stressed, worried, and in the energy of desperation. Boy. So having these payment gateways is a really beautiful way to have all of the channels open so that you can be totally open to receive the beautiful gifts that are out there that are just waiting to come to you.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So everybody, don't mistake energy for energetic. Sometimes I can come across as energetic, and that's a good thing. That's a type of energy, but you're 100% right, man. There's this positive energy. You've been around people that have lit up a room, and you've been around people that when they walk in a room, it gets dim. All right. Those are two different kinds of energy. So think about an abundance mindset, because I promise you were created to be abundant, to have abundance, to create abundance for everybody. So that's awesome. I love that.
So, okay. I think before because I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through a couple of payment gateways. And I was actually chatting to our wonderful George from Spain today. And I wish I chatted to him sooner because he's been working with a wonderful guy from Spain called Igor, who does some crypto training for the Spanish, but he's also gone ahead and created a document for all the Latin Americans and the Europeans as to what payment gateways are going to be best for them to use. So as soon as I get that, I'll combine it with what I suggest, and then we can have a really great new working document with lots of options. I think we can talk about the legend and the guide afterwards because we're in such a flow with this.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll have a wonderful array of documents. And the first thing that I want to talk about is Wise. Wise as a payment gateway. We all had Wise accounts coming off the precursor program, and we had no issues. We felt that it worked better and more seamlessly than PayPal because you could link it up to your bank account a lot more easily, especially in South Africa. We didn't get the Wise cards in South Africa, but worldwide you actually get a card. So we thought in the 8 months leading up to GL that Wise would be the way forward. However, within the first month, everybody that was receiving gifts on Wise, the algorithm kind of, I don't know how they figured it out, but they connected everybody that we were gifting. within the community. And they literally, over a course of 2 to 3 months, have closed everybody that I know's Wise account. They didn't even let my husband verify his Wise account because mine had obviously been closed and they picked up on the same surname. So we are recommending that Wise is not to be used as the main one. I mean, people can still have Wise. And if you're lucky enough to get a gifter and a legend that both have Wise, absolutely great, use it, you know. But I mean, even George had his Wise account closed down and he's been dealing with Wise for his business since 2016 and they closed it. No further questions and you can appeal it, but you're just talking to a computer. So it's really, really difficult. The great thing though about Wise is if they do close your account, for 98% of people across the world, they do tend to refund your money that's in there. I have heard of people in the States though, that have not received their funds. So just be wise about Wise because there are so many other options out there.
That's funny because I signed up for Wise because, yeah, when this whole thing first got started, I came in 7 days after, so on the 17th, and I was told, you know, Wise is the way that if you're going to be dealing with South Africa and several other people. And so I went on ahead and got a Wise account and a Wise card. So have you found that people that went on ahead and got the Wise card have had an easier go of it, or does it even matter? They don't care.
They did have an easier go up to a point. Like I was dealing with a whole group of ladies from the UK. They all had Wise cards and subsequently, probably about a month after I had dealt with them, they also got closed. So I'm just saying, I don't want to scare anyone, but it seems to be only a matter of time.
Okie dokie then. Note to self, don't leave money in Wise.
Yeah, and I mean, we pushed it for 8 months. We were like, Wise is the one. And, you know, I even managed, because I'm quite resourceful, I managed to get a phone number, a UK phone number, actually phoned. I got hold of a consultant. We had a chat. He said that the only thing I could do was actually send an email with an appeal. And I thought, well, you know, I've tried 3 times to appeal this and they've still said no. So I've got nothing to lose. And I wrote them a beautiful letter about sacred economy and gifting and how it works, in the hopes that maybe they'd be a bit more open to it. And I think they got even more closed off to it. So Karen's asking, should we remove it from the PowerPoint? Yes, it should be removed, or otherwise what I've done is it's right at the end of the list of the PowerPoint, because I don't want people that are having Wise and are having no problems with Wise to actually just not use it. So it's just not our preferred method of payments any longer where it was before. Okay, so I am going to speak to you about a beautiful app that I was introduced to by, hold on, I was introduced to this app from the South Americans, a lovely group of people in South America, I think Argentina, and they were talking about airtime, and we didn't really understand them. Hercules was also like, well, I don't want airtime, I would like a gift in dollars, please. And then we found out that it was actually an amazing program or app. You can download it on your phone. That's what it looks like, called airtime. I really, really love this, and I'm going to play you guys a little video soon, because you can withdraw your funds into crypto. There's about 6 different cryptos that are there. You can withdraw your money to PayPal if you want to. You can withdraw your money to a bank account, and even in South Africa. So it's specifically created for Latin America or South America. But of course, I think we pretty much fit into that category in South Africa because, you know, we don't use dollars. We've also got rands. And I found it really, really great to use. The only thing that was a little bit confusing to me was when you want to withdraw your funds, you've got to connect with a peer. And I find that funny because we're in peer-to-peer gifting. So they've taken peer-to-peer a step further. So when you want to withdraw, you click withdraw, and I'll go through the steps with you in a second, but then you're actually going to connect with a peer. And the peer is going to handle your transaction, and they are going to collect the money from airtime and then change it into the currency that you require. So for example, in South Africa, you would connect with the peer. There's very few of them here. And the peer would connect with you, send you messages and tell you, it's going to take about 24 hours and you can track everything. So I love the fact that it's so versatile and that you can withdraw into so many different things. But let me just play a little video. Alan, can you see that?
I don't see it, but that doesn't mean anything. Yes.
Okay. So Philip, can you see it? So no one can see my screen share?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool.
Meet AirTM, your new online dollar account that's free from local restrictions. We know that if you live somewhere like Argentina, Venezuela, or Colombia, your country's unstable currency can lower the value of your savings. And receiving payments from countries like the US isn't easy or affordable. To help you with that, AirTM makes it simple to save, send, spend, and receive funds anywhere, anytime, to and from anyone. AirTM connects you to over 300 banks and e-wallets globally. With it, you can buy and sell stable dollars using your local currency and cash out remittances at free market rates, the rates determined by supply and demand. Simply open your free AirTM account by signing up. Deposit local currency into your dollar account by submitting a request to our peer-to-peer network. AirTM matches you with a verified local agent who receives your local currency in exchange for dollars, which are held securely in escrow for you. Next, visit your payment methods account and transfer local currency to your agent using the information provided in AirTM. Once the agent receives your local currency, we release the dollars in escrow to your AirTM account, completing the transaction. When withdrawing, an AirTM agent transfers local currency to you in exchange for receiving your dollars. AirTM is the safest, most reliable way to save and use your money in Latin America. Open your dollar account now at airtm.com.
Awesome. So it's very easy to sign up. And with all payment gateways, you are going to be asked for proof of your identification and proof of address. It's really important that you do that because then you'll be able to receive and transact with ease. So with AirTime, if you are verified, you can receive, I think, up to $25,000. So I'm just going to log in and navigate you around the page. Obviously on your, and I've set up 2FA because I'm such a good girl like that. And I suggest the Gift of Legacy account too. All right. So yeah, a little bit different obviously on your phone because it's an app on your phone, but you've got, at the moment, I've got $193.56, and that is the equivalent of 3,033 Rand, which is great. So they already tell you what it's worth. If you want to add funds, you would do that. And then you would choose your South African bank accounts. I've got two loaded because I've got FNB and I've got Capitec. But once you're on and you're searching, I'll show you now how to do that as well. It's in settings over here. Let's actually do that right now. So over here, you would go to payment methods, add new. And then you can choose cash, cryptocurrency, e-wallet, gift card, mobile. For South Africa, e-wallet, gift card, and mobile isn't really available, but let's just go to a bank. And then, I mean, you can choose. It's worldwide. You can see there are loads and loads. See if I press S. Okay, no. I have to scroll all the way down. I was a little bit confused in the beginning with this because I'm like, there is no bank called South Africa Bank, but if you click on it, it takes you to the different banks. There we go. And there you can choose from a whole list of banks that are South African. So nice. It's really, really cool. And then you can connect it. So you can also connect it to MoneyGram. MoneyGram is also worldwide, all over the world. In South Africa, I know that there's like actual MoneyGram offices, mostly at tourist destinations. And then also you've got MoneyGram, I think, at Bidvest banks. So
I have a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
I heard you talking about this last week. So I went and started my own AirTM. because I know there has been problems with Wise, and plus I want to have like, 50 ways to send and receive money that only benefits me and everyone around me. But I cannot find an app in my app store. There isn't. Is it called something different?
Are you with Apple?
I am.
Okay. So you can just do it online, like on your browser. You'll be able to do it exactly like this. I know Vanessa also has an Apple, and she was also saying she couldn't get AirTime. But you can still use it on your computer. So don't let the fact that Apple's not ready yet deter you. And that's why I'm showing you on my laptop, because I could have very easily done little screen recordings on my phone, but I wanted to just do it on laptop because everybody's got a laptop.
Hang on a second. Let me make a call. Hi, Apple, get it together. Okay. Come on, man.
All right. So just quickly to show you, if I wanted to withdraw, for example, there automatically it gives me my balance in my AirTime. Let's just say, for example, I think this is my FNB, First National Bank. It will tell me if it's $100, it will tell me what I'm going to receive. It will tell me the exchange rate. Today it's 15.67. The commission for the peer is 5.5%. Your service fee is 2%. So altogether, you're looking at just over 7%, which can be considered high. But you know what? You have gifted $100 to get into Gift of Legacy. So if you are getting gifts and they're $400 and you're getting 7% service charge, what are you really losing? You're not losing anything. You've got the convenience of how this works, and you are getting gifts beyond your wildest dreams. So don't get stuck in the service charges. Just think of it as we get charged by institutions for every little thing. I mean, to do an immediate payment with some of the banks in South Africa, the fees are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, here's what we say in our community: don't trip over dollars to pick up dimes. Fees are just a part of everyday life. I mean, they just are. Let me ask you a question though. So I'm loving this conversation. I'm loving this because I just got this. So, and I know this is going to be different for everybody, but and how they think. But once you see a pending, let's say for somebody sending you a gift, right? And you need to confirm them on the board. Once you see the pending transfer, do you confirm or do you wait till it's actually a done deal?
Great question. And it's got to be a done deal. That money has got to be reflecting in your accounts. Look, if I've got a good relationship with someone like Alan, for example, I know you. Right. If you last gift on my board and it was pending, I'm definitely going to confirm you so that we can get the board moving. So it really just depends on the level of trust. But as a rule, it's got to reflect in your account before you actually confirm. And the reason being, on PayPal, you can cancel a payment while it's pending, and probably with AirTime. So with most of them. So once it's in your account, it's pretty much a done deal and they can't really get it back.
Perfect.
So
thanks.
That's a great question. And then what the cool thing is with board chat, you can now let everyone on the board know that this is the issue, that this gifter is serious. We're just organizing a little bit of a payment plan. Something's pending. They didn't push friends and family. They use gift goods and services. So now it's just pending. But then everyone will know because now we've got the board chat and we can keep everybody informed.
Love it.
Okay, so just to show you, if you are sending money to someone, a beautiful gift, all you would do is either put the AirTime username or the email. So it works very, very similar to PayPal. And then you would just choose the amount of money and then send. And then it literally tells you how long it's going to take through the peers. Then the last one thing I want to show you is crypto. Once you've obviously got money in your account, so like I've got that $100, I would be able to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, Binance, Ethereum, Stellar, Tether. So that's also really cool. So even if you have AirTime, but you don't necessarily have crypto, you can always accept crypto through your AirTime wallets. And you could just say that you wanted the USD Tether. And nice. Yeah, so it's really, really cool. I really like this app.
Is the USD Tether on the Tron network or is it Ether network? Do you know?
Have a look. If we click on it, what we see. Doesn't seem to say.
Well, that'd be an interesting thing to find out.
Let me get back to you because normally you can see it quite easily. but that is AirTM. So that's my firm favorite. Then I want to move on to WorldRemit. Now, WorldRemit is all over the world. It's in most countries. Most people have got it. In South Africa, if you sign up with WorldRemit, there is an app as well, but you are limited, and I don't know why, but you are limited to 3,000 Rand, which is $200. So you can't send more than $200 through WorldRemit. But the good news is somebody from overseas that has WorldRemit can send you an infinite amount of gifts. So there is no hold on the value if you are receiving. And the great thing about WorldRemit is that I'm sure a lot of you have heard me talk about Mukuru, but it says, where can you collect the funds in South Africa? So WorldRemit's also got a couple of their own offices, but it is connected to a card and a company called Mukuru Money. So this is a great app because you can send money to all of Africa and a couple of places overseas. And if you have to tell, say, Alan says, Candz, I've got WorldRemit, how will that work for you? You can say Mukuru, it will link up. All you need to do is generally give your phone number that you are linked up to Mukuru with, and it will go to Mukuru. Now, you can do this in two ways. You can actually call the number at the top here, or WhatsApp, and you can order a Mukuru card, because I tell you what, I was so bleak that everyone else has got a Wise card and everyone else has got a Revolut card, and in South Africa we don't have any card. So when I found this, I was like, yay, finally a card that we can use like that. So you would give them your phone number. Let's say the gift's $400. They would send $400 from WorldRemit. You would receive it in your Mukuru because of your phone number, and then it would actually get loaded straight onto your card if you already have your card. So you would go and use it as a debit card. You can go and draw cash at the bank. I think the daily limit is 5,000 Rand, which is about $350. Or you don't even need to have a Mukuru card. There are Mukuru outlets everywhere, all over the place. I had no idea that there was even a Mukuru. It's just one day someone from the US needed to gift my husband, and he went and he found a whole world that I knew nothing about. So it's really cool. The service is amazing. I got my card within 48 hours, which is like unheard of in South Africa. So the two work really, really well together. WorldRemit's been around for a very long time. I'm sure you know it, Alan. I'm sure you've probably used it. So that's a really great partnership and another wonderful way to receive. I also saw, just out of interest, I saw with Mukuru, you can actually send groceries to Malawi and to Zimbabwe from Mukuru as well. Alan, Malawi and Zimbabwe are in Africa. Zimbabwe is a country that is really, really struggling economically at the moment. And when our beautiful brothers and sisters leave from South Africa to go to Zimbabwe, back to their home country, they have to bribe people at the border in order to take the groceries over. It's super corrupt and it's just so sad. So I really was excited that there's actually a legit way to send, hampers to those people in those regions. Okay, what else have I got here to show you? I think, oh yeah, so this is me logged into my Mukuru account. I just wanted to show you, you've got send money, order groceries, you can order your Mukuru card, collection points, orders, recipients, all that kind of stuff. So it really, really is cool and exciting. And like I said, you get a card, which is so fabulous. Terry got a gold gift. My husband got a gold gift, and he owed me money for something. I can't really remember, but I got the card. So like for the first time in my marriage, I got to swipe my husband's card to my heart's content. It was fantastic.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
And then the last one that I want to discuss is Revolut. Revolut is very popular in Europe. It's very similar to Wise in the way that it works. So you also get a Revolut card. If you get excited and you try sign up in South Africa, they take you through the whole sign up process. And then right at the end, when you think, fabulous, I've done it, they go, you are 9,641 in the queue. we'll let you know, and please tell more people about Revolut so that we can have it in your country. The wonderful thing about Revolut, though, is that if you have a Revolut account, so anywhere outside of South Africa, you can send from Revolut to a bank account anywhere in the world. And you can do an immediate payment, and then it takes, I know in South Africa it's a little bit longer, it takes about 24 hours, even though it should reflect straight away. But it really is cool. I've had a couple of gifts that way. And in the beginning, I was like, no, it's not going to work. It's going to take forever. It's going to take too long. It's going to be like an electronic transfer from overseas. That's going to take 5 days. But it really, really was quick and easy. So those are my favorites. And then obviously I can't leave out PayPal. I love PayPal. PayPal for me, okay, we don't have to log in, but PayPal for me has been really, really reliable. And in the precursor program, all of us were using PayPal, and a lot of people did not link PayPal up to their bank accounts. So they had, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 just hanging in PayPal. And then PayPal suspended their accounts. They can do it for 180 days. They don't give you your money back. It's very difficult to get help when that happens. You can just keep on nagging, but you don't ever want to be in that situation. So I was always a little bit wary of PayPal, but when my Wise account got closed, I didn't have a choice. So I was so scared in the beginning that everybody sent me gifts. I literally went to PayPal as soon as it came in, drew the money out. And I think that was actually a good thing, because if your PayPal is linked to your bank account and you do everything the way that they tell you, I don't think you'll have a problem. So as soon as you get funds in, just draw them out. It's seamless. It's really easy. It takes, I think in the beginning, it used to take 3 to 5 days for me, but I think because I've done it so often, 24 to 48 hours, and my money is in my FNB account, no problems. The great thing about the banks in South Africa is you've got an option to also choose. They ask you where your money's coming from, and you say it's a gift. They all give you the option to actually say it's a gift, which is wonderful. I love that. And I see Tim said his last experience with PayPal was a nightmare. Oh, that's awful. Tim, did you tell the person that was gifting you to use the friends and family option? Because generally, if they don't use the friends and family option, they take about $15 to $20 off, and it can be on hold for like 3 to 4 weeks. So it's really, really important to communicate with your gifters and just tell them, please use friends and family. And I've gone so far as returned the payment, issued a refund if it was on hold, because at the end of the day, it's going to hold up the board. It doesn't necessarily need to be on hold. And there's no, okay, so the withdrawal was nuts. Yeah. Hopefully you bank with not FNB. I didn't find FNB's fees too hectic, to be honest. Yeah, so that's the payment gateway. So get all of them. Get everything. I mean, there's also Remitly, but I was chatting to Chris Swanson the other day, and Remitly and WorldRemit I actually think are the same company. So there's also Skrill, there's Payeer, there's so many different ones, and just get them all. Get them all, and then when you've got a gift on your board, you can just give them the list of everything, and then they can choose from that.
Question: do you guys can you guys use Skrill?
I haven't actually checked it, but Melissa's saying yes. Okay, so
okay, that's awesome. I was going to ask that question because while we're on this payment gateways, before we segue into the great mystical world of cryptocurrency, we have a bunch of them over here in the US that I think are just US based, and they may be or they may not be. So when I throw these out here, if you've heard of them or if you can use them, please let me know. But over here in the US, we have something called Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E. Has anyone heard of that abroad? Have you guys heard of that? So I do believe it was started by Chase Bank, which is a big global bank. It's been adopted by Wells Fargo Bank, which is a US-based bank, blah, blah, blah. But Zelle is great because there are no fees. So for friends that are on here, that are US based and they're gifting US based, please get yourself a Zelle account, because it is the easiest thing to use. You have a bank account.
Sorry, how do you spell it? I just want to put it in the chat.
Zelle.
Ah,
Zelle, right? And it is in the App Store. And the thing that's so great about it is if your bank actually has it, like my bank does, it's a part of the bank. You don't even need an app. So you just give somebody your Zelle ID and it's like sending a bank wire, and it's instantaneous, and there are no fees, none. So it's a thing of beauty, Zelle. There's also Cash App, which is owned by Square, which is a great thing here in the US too. I mean, no, they're not abroad. So there's a bunch of different things. Like Candz says, get them all, man, get them all. And I know, and I'll throw this in before we progress forward. You know, I've had a few people that I've been helping, and they get confused, and they think that because they have money at Wise or money at PayPal, that it's not their money somehow. I don't know how that works, but just put in your head that these are just different bank accounts, right? Because this gal kept saying, well, if I have the money up there, I need to get it back in my bank. Why? It's still yours. Okay, it's still your money. It's like having a bank account at Bank A and a bank account at Bank B. You know, I get it if you're not a person who keeps track of the money that they have laying all over the place. I understand. But get used to dealing with that, because the world is changing, and there are a number of ways that we can use money, move money, give money, and all those kinds of things. You're going to have to get a handle on the one thing that none of the schools anywhere around the world taught, and that is finance and money, and how to put your soldiers to work for you, and what it means, right? We blindly and happily go to work every day to earn something that we don't even know how to use, other than transactionally. And that's put in the bank and pay a bill, put in the bank, pay a bill, put in the bank, pay a bill, take the family out to dinner. Money is so much more than that. And I encourage everybody, please learn as much as you can about the thing that makes the world go round. Like it, don't like it, doesn't matter. It's still a fact. Okay. The blood that courses through the world's veins is money. That's just the reality of it. So anyways, there's a whole bunch of them. I was crafting a letter that I was going to put up in the new chat, where as a legend, I can put all my payment details and everything in there. But the daggum thing got so long because I have so many ways to pay. I thought, well, that's probably a bad idea. Nobody's going to read that, right? No one's going to read that whole mess. So anyways, if you like, I can move on into crypto right now. Do you want to do that right now?
Yes, I'd love to. And just on that, I find it much easier to give crypto away than I do to give fiat away. It's just also a mindset. It doesn't feel like it's money to me. So it's like there, and I collected a nice little nest egg there, and I just love using it when people say that they want to receive a gift in crypto. I'm like, oh great, that's fantastic. I won't even feel that. Yet
Right.
if it was my bank account, it's somehow you can just feel it more. Well, that's my point of view and my perception, because I'm not a fan with crypto. But I did find crypto very easy to use once I got over my mind getting in the way. Eddie very kindly in the beginning of my journey with crypto gave me a whole lot of videos to watch, and I was like, I'm not watching them. It's too complicated. Don't understand. And eventually I was like, for goodness sake, Candz, just get over yourself. Just watch them. Give it a chance. And then within half an hour, I was set up. It was so easy.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to do, but it's also understandable where people get intimidated by it because it's a financial transaction and people don't want to make a mistake. And they've heard, wow, once you click the crypto button, if you're sending it to the wrong place, it's gone forever. True statement. Okay, it's just like throwing money out the window going 50 miles an hour down the road. You're probably not going to find it if you do it. So just be meticulous about the details. But I love talking about crypto, and I used to do a thing way back in the day, way back in like 2011, called The Evolution of Money. And so that's where we're going to kind of start right now when we get into crypto. So people are intimidated simply by the name cryptocurrency. Oh, what is that? It's frightening. It's weird. It's technological. It's like computerized. It's all these things that, you know, tend to put people on the defensive from the start. I can prove a point to everybody. If we just change the name to digital money, nobody would be intimidated because we know the word money. So when you think about cryptocurrency, think about digital money. Now, it's not really money. It is a store of value, and there's a lot of different stores of value. Is there not, the South African rand, the United States dollar, the Great British pound, the New Zealand kiwi, the Aussie dollar, the Canadian dollar? There's all these different dollars too. So there's all these different cryptos too. It's the same. There's so many parallels to what you're already familiar with. If you start to look at it in those terms, you're going to be a lot better off. So here's the way that I explain it. You've been using digital money for a long time, okay? You don't realize it because you don't think of it in those terms, but I'm going to give you a perfect example, and then we'll move on to some crypto stuff, right? But I feel like when I do this, people really get a handle on it. So what is this? This is a brand new debit card, okay? Or otherwise known as digital money, okay, is what it is, all right? It's no different than crypto, okay? When you look at $100 US dollar bill or any dollar bill, it has what on this? What identifies it? It has a serial number, right? And the serial number is in print, but the serial number is also tracked by all the Federal Reserves that track United States dollars. They can tell you where it was printed, how old it is, how long it's been in circulation, where it has been traded at. They track the whole entire thing. And it's in physical form because you can hold it. But did you know that in the United States dollar, that only 3%, I think it's 3 or 5% of the currency is actually in physical format. The rest of it is digital money, okay, because of the way the fractional reserve lending system works. And that's another lesson for another day that we don't need to get into. But here's the reality. If you were a person that filled out, let's say, an application for a credit card, all right, and the credit card comes and it's a $10,000 credit card, and it comes in the envelope, and you open it up and there's the card, and you pull the card back and you say, where's my $10,000? Well, it isn't in the envelope, okay? There's no money behind the credit card, right? It's just a digital representation of that $10,000. Now, we take that card because we're all fired up and we wanted a brand new sofa. So we go down to the sofa store and we drop $2,000 using the credit card, right? So we hand the credit card over, and then the sofa store runs the credit card. Did you give them any money? No, you did not give them any money whatsoever. They ran your card, they looked at your credit worthiness, and it says, oh, this guy's good for the money. They don't know how much you're good for, but they know you're good for what you're trying to buy. And so they charge the card $2,000. You go home with your sofa, you're all, happy and have a brand new comfortable place to sit. All right, and all this kind of stuff. Now, the bill comes a month later, and you look at it, and there's a bill for $2,000, and you say, well, I want to pay that off. Do you send money, $20, $100 bills to pay for the sofa? No, you don't. You do one of two things. You write a thing called a check, which almost nobody does anymore. All right, it's like, is that a checkbook? Do those still exist, right? If you're in the grocery store, it's like, are you kidding me, lady? Okay, I'm in a hurry, right? Where's the checkbook? But it's all it is a promissory note. It's a directive to your bank to say, hey, here's a check, make payment to this sofa company, or actually to the Visa company, the Visa card company, right? Or like most of us, you get on and you do an online transaction through online banking, and you direct your bank, hey, move some of my ones and zeros out of my account that don't actually have physical money attached to them because they're digital, over to the Visa card company. And the Visa card company then receives ones and zeros in a ledger. No money transacted, everyone. There was just a bunch of computer mumbo jumbo that went on that transacted. No physical dollars took place. So you've been using digital money for a long time. So cryptocurrency, if you look at it in that way, okay, each transaction has a hash connected to it. Don't get caught up in that, okay? But it's like this digital serial number that represents the amount of money that the $100 serial number would be, right? And so that they can track it, just like they would track a paper dollar. It's the same thing, y'all. So having a cryptocurrency account, whether you're at crypto.com, whether you use and we'll talk about the difference between exchanges, whether you're at Binance, whether you're at Gemini, whether you're at KuCoin, whether you're at Kraken, these are just different banks, Look at it that way. Again, I'm trying to draw a parallel between what you're comfortable with, called a bank, and what a crypto exchange is. Oh, a crypto exchange. I'm not a trader. I don't know. TD Ameritrade, Scottrade, all these crypto. No. Get that out of your head. The exchanges are just banks. They're just a place where you have money. That's it. Now, the cool thing is that they have assets that a typical bank doesn't have. Those are called coins and tokens that you can buy, but you can also, like the USD Tether that we were looking at a little bit earlier, you can move your money out of the market and put it into something stable so that it doesn't ride what is right now a ridiculously bear market in the crypto world. Because chances are, you don't want to be in that right now. It's a good time to buy, but that's another lesson for another day. But you can keep it stable there. So what is it? It's a store of value, just like your bank account, right? Which for most of us, just like Candz just said, I wanted the card because they're convenient. They're convenient. It's a convenient way to do business. I don't even do that anymore. I use Apple Pay everywhere. Just double click my phone and point my phone at it and I'm done. And I get a digital receipt and it's all digital. I haven't seen a $100 bill and I couldn't tell you when. It just goes straight to my bank. I just use money in that way. So you guys are already doing crypto, whether you realize it or not. You just are, okay? And that's the way the world is going. So get used to it. Now, what makes crypto so cool, especially when it comes to gift of legacy, is when you get up to the when you get up to the gifts that are $1,600 a pop and $5,000 a pop, there isn't ever, those are tiny crypto transactions. Whereas to PayPal or Wise or, some of these others, that's a big sum of money, sends off a little, you get moved from one algorithm to the next algorithm. If you start seeing $5,000 transactions in a week, it's a thing. Okay, that never happens in crypto. You can trust me, and I don't say this to boast or brag. I have been part of pretty close to a $1 million transaction. It happened just as fast as a $10 transaction. No one cares. It doesn't matter. As long as it goes off the blockchain and it is confirmed, it happens just the same. No one comes back to you and go, hey, what's this transaction all about? That is both a good and a bad thing. But the reality of it is this. That's why you have to do KYC. So if you're with a legit broker, that you've got to be, you've got to pass the anti-money laundering. I get it. People used to say, oh, so many bad things happen with crypto. And this is a sour answer, but it's the one I used to give. And I go, yeah, no bad things ever happened with money, right? Nobody ever corrupted anybody with a dollar bill, did they? And they're like, oh, I guess you're right. Right. Of course I'm right, because that has happened. People have paid for nefarious things using paper money through the course of time. Okay, it's happened all the time. So crypto, do not be intimidated by it. Now, let's talk about the difference between a brokerage and a wallet and a decentralized wallet or a DeFi wallet and this little guy, cold storage. Okay, so here's the deal. When you put money in the bank, you don't have custody of it. Who has the money? The bank has the money. You don't have the money. Now, if you put money in your sock drawer or your safe or wherever you like to put it, right? You actually have custody. Just like in Greece, when there was a run on the banks and the banks all shut down, nobody could get their money. I had some friends that were in the Greek Isles that lived there, and they're like, holy crap, we can't get to our money. And I was in some other financial stuff with them, and they're like, can you help? And so when you don't have custody over your own dollars, like, for example, people leaving a lot of money up on PayPal, people leaving a lot of money up on Wise. I'm not saying that it's like having another bank account that you should keep loaded. Please remember this. If you learn one thing today from me at all, banks and payment gateways are transactional in nature. That's it. Do the transaction and be done. You're not going to leave money there and grow it. You're not going to leave money there and have it, turn into millions of dollars in a bank or otherwise. I mean, APYs right now are below 1% annually. All right. You could have $1 million. You're not making any money if it's sitting in a bank. So use banks and payment gateways for conducting transactions. Get the money back and put it to work for yourself, or just as well put it in a drawer, with the way that the APRs are right now. So you've got I'm going to pick on my favorite exchange. It's called Gemini. It's owned by the Winklevoss twins. And the Winklevoss twins were famous in the Facebook world. They say that Facebook was actually their idea and that old Mark Z took it from them. There was a big, gigantic lawsuit about all that. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars. They are the single largest holder of Bitcoin in the world. And so they have an exchange called Gemini, and you can get there at gemini.com. Okay, great exchange. Doing a lot of business there. They have all kinds of accounts, from institutional accounts to just, I need a crypto account because I'm going to do some transacting, right? There we go. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it. And it is a good account. I like it better because I've used Coinbase as well. I like it a little better than Coinbase, but they are what they are, right? So they're regulated. They follow the rules. So for those of you that need to feel safe about a crypto account, you can feel safe about a crypto account there. They do everything. You're going to have to identify yourself, sell your identifying documents. We had to qualify in my other world business that I have by sending our corporate papers, all of it, information on all the officers, blah, 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 on and on and on. So, some people would complain about that. I was pleased with that because I know that they're following regulations and that any money there and the type of transactions that we sometimes are a party to are safe. And I like that. But if you leave money there, it's not in your custody. So if for some reason something bad were to happen to them, guess what? Bye-bye money. Okay, it's going to go to the regulators and you're going to fight forever to get your money back. So what can you do otherwise? Well, you can move money off of an exchange. My favorite wallet is called Exodus. A lot of people use it. Okay, yeah, I've got almost a bunch of money there. Used to be, let me put it this way. It almost used to be a bunch of money. Now it's a little money, but I'm hanging on, to it anyways. But I love Exodus. Now, Candz said this earlier, and everybody needs to understand this. Every time you move money, it costs you money. All right. Nobody's going to facilitate an activity for you anywhere in the world without it costing you money. Nowhere. That's how they make their money. They're middlemen, which is why I love to say what I say when we're doing presentations and things like that, that there are no middlemen. The gifting activity is peer-to-peer. 100 is 100, 400 is 400 all day. However, that does not forego the fact that the payment gateways are going to charge their money. And please, again, do not trip over dollars to pick up dimes. It just is part of what we do. Nobody does anything for free. Credit cards, 2.5% to whatever, blah, blah, blah. So here's the thing. When you move money from, say, Gemini to Exodus, it's going to cost you money. But here's the good news. All right. Gemini has a Bitcoin address. Exodus has a Bitcoin address. Exodus has a whole bunch of assets. Again, a whole bunch, and they all have their address. So here's where this came up the other day. So one of my teammates said to me, they want Luna. I go, no, there's no such thing as wanting Luna. They want Bitcoin, and Luna does Bitcoin. Okay. But a Bitcoin address is a Bitcoin address all day. It doesn't matter where it comes from, whether it's Luna or Gemini or KuCoin. Bitcoin addresses, just like every other asset, has a format that it follows that identifies it as this is a Bitcoin address. You can send money from Gemini to Luna, from Luna to Exodus, as long as it's the same asset, Bitcoin to Bitcoin to Bitcoin to Bitcoin or whatever, Ethereum to Ethereum to Ethereum. So understand that you have in your Exodus wallet, if you're carrying one, if you have one, a Bitcoin address that from any other Bitcoin platform in the world can receive money. So you might as well, if somebody's going to pay you and you like to have money in Exodus, use the Bitcoin address in Exodus. Why? Because you're going to forego a fee to get it from your exchange, which might be Coinbase or Gemini or one of the others, and you want to get it off the exchange and into a wallet, you're going to save yourself a fee. So just have them send it directly to the wallet. Or if you don't even want to go that far and you want to have complete and total custody, you'll have something called a cold storage wallet. And that's what this little dude is right here. There's a lot of good ones. I'm not here to pimp one wallet or the other, but this is one that I like because it looks a lot like a phone. It's something I am used to, but it also has a Bitcoin address in it. So every single, well, not every single, but Exodus could go away, Gemini could go away, and one company could come out and would be an exchange. And all I have to do is send what I have in my custody, all my Bitcoin, all my Ethereum, all my Avalanche, and all the other assets that I have to that exchange. And they will have grown. This is always a question I get. They will have grown on this little cold storage device that I keep over here next to my desk, just like if they were at the exchange, just like they were in a hot wallet. This is a cold wallet. Okay, let me put it to you this way, and we'll wrap this up for this time. I love teaching this stuff, but here's the deal. People ask me all the time, well, if you put it in a cold storage wallet, does it still grow? Okay, and this is the way that I answer it. Let me ask you a question. If you were to get a gold bar and you were to stick it in your safe and gold went up, did your gold go up? The answer is yes. Just because you have custody of it doesn't mean that it doesn't grow. It still grows. You just happen to have it. You know, for some reason, we had a $100 bill in our drawer over here, and all of a sudden the US came out and said all $100 bills are now worth $200. Fat chance, but you know, if they did, okay, you have the $100 bill, it's in your custody, now worth $200. Same thing. You have the cryptocurrency in a cold storage device, and this thing here looks fancy. It's nothing more than a glorified memory stick, honestly. That's all these things are. And you just simply plug it back in and reload it back up to the exchange of your choice to turn it into, you know, dollars. It's that easy. And so don't be intimidated by crypto and the weird name and, you know, all that stuff. You don't have to understand a whole lot. It's just a way to transfer money back and forth. And it's a very safe way, in my opinion, to do it. It's a super safe way. As a matter of fact, in this little letter that I wrote, I included my USD Tether address and my Bitcoin address, and you know, because those seem to be the two popular ones. They're easy to get and easy to transfer. So you guys don't be intimidated by crypto. There's a million good choices out there. I'm not going to make any recommendations. You must do your own diligence for the country in which you live to make sure that you're getting the best possible outcome for yourself in that country. All I can say is I use Gemini here in the United States, and Exodus is my online wallet. And then I have a cold storage device, and that's it. That's the only places that I do business. You know, there's a million of them you can, you know, go to if you're comfortable, and they're all good. Most of them are all good. So just get comfortable with crypto. It's coming, and it's coming faster than you think. Digital money is here to stay, folks.
Yep, ain't that the truth? Sign of the times. You've got to get with the program. I mean, can you believe, like 20 years ago, there wasn't even a cell phone.
Didn't Prince write a song called Sign of the Times? We should be playing it. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah, he did. He did. Sign of the Times. You're right. And you're right about this. This thing right here, I think about it all the time. And I think to myself, man, I used to have a BlackBerry and a flip phone and, you know, a no phone. And it was cool to go back when I was coming up, it was cool to go buy a fake antenna and stick it on the back of your car so people thought you had a phone, you know. And now, I mean, this is the greatest invention in the world, this thing, because this thing is like part of my hand now. I've got it all the time. So we do a lot of business. Almost all of my Gift of Legacy business is done from this telephone. Just about all of it. Okay, rarely am I on the computer with Gift of Legacy, and I love the fact that the developers made it so easy to work on the phone, because we're on the go all the time. That's why we do what we do, right? I guarantee you, your life by design is designed so that you can go to Egypt on a 3-week trip, so that you can go do what you love to do. And still, you know, if you make a decision to put this in a drawer, which I do from time to time, but rarely, that you can be mobile and still do Gift of Legacy, still do all that fabulous giving and receiving that is out there. That was a good thought by whoever thought it.
And I think in closing, I'd just like to finish off by saying, it's so much easier to live your life without expectations. So you come in to Gift of Legacy, you watch the presentation, you're excited at what it can provide you, but let go of the expectations of what it can provide you when you start. It will give you so much more freedom if you just let go of the expectations of when am I going to receive, how long is this going to take, how many more people, everyone I talk to. Just let go of expectations and live life in 10-second increments. It will make it so much easier for you. You know, just at the moment, we've got 37,000 odd bronze boards that are all waiting for the algorithm. And at the moment, the algorithm is working, but it is spilling up boards from around the 18th of January at the moment. So they are getting filled. And those people that were in Gift of Legacy from the 18th of January that maybe got onto boards that were a little bit stuck or people weren't communicating, it's happening. It's happening. And you know why it's probably happening? Because you've let go of the expectation, because you put it on the back burner, because you think, January, it's never going to happen. They said it was going to happen, but it's never going to happen. But it is happening. It's happening. So just let go of those expectations and just live your life. You know, we've never, ever promised that you should give up your day job and go full time into Gift of Legacy, because we weren't in a position to guarantee that, because it's all new to us as well. We've created a program that is sustainable and it is going to look after you. But it might not be on a monthly basis like the job that pays your salary that you're used to. But, you know, even if you're getting 8 times $400 every 4 to 5 months, I can tell you now, it's probably going to match a salary that would have been given to you for 5 months altogether. So, you know, the $47,900 is real, and it has happened for many people, but it's not a get rich quick scheme, and we've never promised it to be. So if you just let go of expectations, life will be so much easier. You'll be able to wake up and be grateful in the morning. You'll be able to choose to be in a good mood if you don't have expectations.
Can I piggyback one last thing before we say goodbye for the weekend and all of that? There are people that were introduced to Gift of Legacy in my small US community that have surpassed the number of times that was the first domino, basically, besides Shanna, that have cycled a bronze board more times than I have on some single accounts. So you guys, again, don't put it in your head that, you know, because you weren't there on the 17th of January like I was, doesn't matter. I'm talking about a couple of people that have cycled through 3 and 4 times already on several of their bronze boards. Because why? Because they get on a board where people are excited and they're doing the right thing and they're living life at the right frequency, and the thing just catches on fire and goes. So again, you may be going 2 miles an hour tomorrow. You may be going 35 miles an hour. And the day after that, you might be going 135 miles an hour. Like it will happen. It happens. It's impossible not to happen. It's a mathematical algorithm. It will happen. So I love that. That's what I love most about it, actually. It's going to happen.
And when you least expect it, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's even better, right? Nothing like finding money under a rock, I always say.
Exactly. I'll just finish off with a little story. I moved out of a little cottage that I was renting in Sedgefield, and my landlord was very casual. So I honestly couldn't remember whether I'd given him a deposit or not. And I really didn't think that I had. So I didn't expect to get anything back. We didn't even sign a lease. It was just, you know, here's the cottage, it's yours. And I went there today to hand over the keys, and he approached me with 5,000 rands in 100 rand notes. So it was quite a fat bundle of money. And I was like, wow, somebody must have paid him rent. And then he was like, this is so weird to give you money when you give me money. And it was my deposit. I'd actually paid a deposit, and he was handing me 5,000 rand. And it was so wonderful because I didn't expect it. So it was such a welcome surprise. And that's why I just wanted to end with the theme of expectations, because if you don't expect anything, you're never going to be disappointed. You're never going to feel let down, and you're never going to let yourself down. So, Alan, love you to bits. You're amazing. I get so excited knowing that we're going to chat every Friday.
Fun.
And yeah, have a wonderful weekend. Drink
Yes.
lots. Do everything that I wouldn't do.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, you guys. Everybody be blessed.